Alfred Brock with CNC News Co. here, and we're going to talk about electronic cigarettes. Might as well sit back and relax, because this thing is a book. It's more like a magazine. It's a very nice, nicely made pamphlet, and it was created by DWMHA, which is the Detroit Wayne Mental Health Authority. So electronic cigarettes, let's get into it here. What are e-cigarettes? E-cigarettes are supposed to deliver nicotine and flavors to the body without using the burning mechanism of traditional cigarettes. The nicotine and flavor is contained in a liquid inside a disposable cartridge, which is heated and turned to steam by a heating element. This heating element is powered by a battery or another power source, such as a USB cable. An e-cigarette produces a vapor that looks like smoke, but which companies claim is completely harmless. There are widespread design flaws in the devices. We're used to being able to trust what companies tell us about their products. Because the government is still trying to figure out just how to regulate e-cigarettes, they are not testing and approving these devices for safe use. Some researchers have discovered multiple problems related to poor workmanship, such as nicotine leaking out of the cartridges and coming into direct contact with the skin or inside of the mouth. Looks like an ink well. This creates a huge risk of nicotine poisoning, not only for the user, but especially for young children. To toddlers and infants, the amount of nicotine in a bottle of e-liquid could prove fatal. Given these and other considerations, many countries around the world, including Canada and Mexico, have banned e-cigarettes, and many local governments in the US have done the same. Now, there's an uncertainty about the vapor that it's producing, that people are inhaling into their body. Most e-cigarette liquids are made of either propylene glycol, glycerin, or a mixture of both. The makers and sellers of e-cigarettes claim that e-cigarette vapor is harmless to those who inhale it, and those around them. However, there is little scientific evidence to back up these claims. The truth is that it takes years of research to determine if something is safe or not, and that research simply hasn't been done. Then there are issues about quality control. Many e-liquids available for sale are made by fly-by-night laboratories or imported from Asia without inspection. Since the e-liquids are not regulated by the FDA, that's the Food and Drug Administration, or anyone else, there's no way of knowing exactly what is in them. When you inhale the vapor from an e-cigarette, you don't know exactly what you're putting into your body. Seriously. Or what the long-term effects will be. The safest choice is to stay away from tobacco and e-cigarettes altogether. Are they valuable as a quitting tool to stop smoking cigarettes? Well, could e-cigarettes help people quit smoking? The answer is a resounding nobody knows, but probably not comes along secondly. The Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, has consistently refused to approve the product as a smoking cessation tool because manufacturers have failed to prove that it safely and effectively helps addicted people reduce their dependence on nicotine. Until this equipment is better constructed and more thoroughly studied, there is no reason to choose it over one of the many established, safe, and approved quitting methods. There is also a gateway to a nicotine addiction here, so it's not it's a word game. Oh, you stop smoking cigarettes, but you're still inhaling the material that causes the addiction, which is the nicotine. A huge concern that experts voice about e-cigarettes is the fact that they come in a wide range of attractive flavors. The FDA has banned traditional cigarettes from using flavors other than menthol out of worry that tasty flavors make nicotine attractive to young people. E-cigarettes, on the other hand, are currently free to package this harmful drug along with chocolate, coffee, cola, and even exotic flavors like strawberry daiquiri. It seems obvious that these companies are not concerned about young people developing a lifelong nicotine addiction. Rather, they're interested in using any method, however deceptive, to get as many customers as possible. These exciting flavors do little more than hook non-smokers, exposing them to both the known and unknown risks of inhaling the contents of e-cigarettes. So why start in the first place? Disregarding the flashy ads and pushy salespeople at the mall, there's no good reason to put money into buying an e-cigarette system and the accessories that go along with it. If you don't smoke yet, E-cigarettes will only create an appetite for the real thing and get you addicted to nicotine, just like actual cigarettes. If you already smoke, there are plenty of other resources for quitting successfully. Experts warn that since e-cigarettes carry many of the same sensations as real cigarettes, they do little to help you break the habit. And since your lungs would already be harmed, they would also be introducing the chemicals and poisons that come along with e-cigarettes into damaged tissue. Now, what's your best bet? Avoid nicotine at all costs. That's what it is. It is an unhealthy alternative. E-books, email, e-commerce, it seems like almost any idea that has an E before it is cutting edge, exciting, and technologically advanced. Perhaps that's what manufacturers had in mind when they named their new product the e-cigarette, even though it has nothing to do with computers or technology. The deceptive name is one of many ways that producers of this equipment misrepresent what it is, what it does, and how safe it is for consumers to use. Since practically all the information you can easily find on e-cigarettes is paid for and publicized by the companies that make them, you can bet we're only getting one side of the story. What you see may not be what you get. One of the first things that you'll hear about e-cigarettes is that they contain very few of the chemicals that make traditional cigarettes dangerous, such as tar. You'll also notice that you can choose just how much nicotine you want your e-cigarette to deliver, all the way from a heavy dose to no nicotine at all. But studies by the FDA showed that the advertised nicotine levels were not always accurate, and the nicotine-free versions occasionally do contain certain trace amounts of nicotine. What you get may be poisonous. One of the e-cigarette cartridges that the FDA tested, made by a leading company, ended up testing positive for traces of diethylene glycol, a known poison that is found in antifreeze. We don't know what other poisons may make their way into other brands, and we might not find out until a scandal reveals that people have been made very sick by the toxins hidden inside these new products. Nicotine is nicotine is nicotine. It says it right there. Remember that. Nicotine is nicotine is nicotine. Nicotine is a highly addictive, poisonous drug. It is naturally found in the leaves of the tobacco plant, and it's the reason that tobacco products are the most addictive drugs on the planet. In concentrated doses, nicotine can be deadly. E-cigarettes don't eliminate the addiction to nicotine. They simply provide an alternative way to abuse it. And finally, harm reduction. While e-cigarettes may be a healthier alternative to smoking, the fact is that there just hasn't been enough scientific research to make that claim. E-cigarettes certainly don't do anything to reduce nicotine dependency, and the biggest danger is that the popularity of e-cigarettes will lead to more people becoming nicotine addicted, which is what we're seeing right now. So this was a little bit of a forward viewing pamphlet called Electronic Cigarettes. You don't need them.